What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of DT Podcast. Today, I am joined by Mr. Ruud Ryer. How are you doing, Ruud?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm really happy that I'm live with you there. And yes, I'm really excited to keep some time with you online.
Awesome, man. It is great to see you, dude. You and many people like you are the main reason I enjoy going to concerts, man. Our love of music, it's so special. And I met you at a concert, my first concert back after the pandemic. I went to Zurich and I saw Meshuggah, and I met you there, dude. That was a crazy night.
Yes, indeed. I think it was also my first concert after the pandemic and after a very long time. I guess my last concert for Meshuggah was Meshuggah, like
Yeah.
10 years back in Köln in Germany.
Wow.
And yes, the sound was absolutely crazy there too. And I tell you, after 10 years, you couldn't say it was 10 years past because they were amazing live in May and they were 10 years ago. They sound exactly the same. They are amazing. This one of the best bands I ever seen live, Meshuggah.
Yeah, man. It was crazy. I saw them before. They opened for Slayer at the Montreux Jazz Festival a couple of years ago. And my I didn't actually know who the band were. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, my brother told me, "Hey, you got to check out this band, Meshuggah." It's something new. It's something heavier than what I'm used to. I'm used to thrash metal, old school '80s rock, and things like that. And I'm listening to Meshuggah for the first time, and it just blew my head off. I'm like, this is about as heavy as I want to get. But that band has brought someone like you into my life. And dude, I don't know, do you remember how we got talking? You were taking a selfie, and I didn't
Yes,
know who you were, and I
yes.
just like, you know,
You
crazy.
and this Italian guy there, I don't know. Oh,
Renee.
Rene, do you still keep in touch with him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I have him in Instagram, but we don't talk. We don't talk very much. But I always follow. He's always doing very hard training, and
yeah,
is an amazing guy. Yes,
yeah,
we met there. Yes,
yeah.
Meshuggah was like I first started to listen to Meshuggah like 15 years ago or something like that, and uh, they they do the same stuff over the years. They don't. This is one of the bands they main the same group of guys who started the band. They stay faithful to their people who are going with in tour with them, doing the lightning and everything. I think the lightning guy is a cousin from one of them.
Right.
And yes, in they are very special band because the guy is doing this lightning effects live. It's not any kind of software doing any stuff. The guy is pushing the
Yeah.
buttons because he knows all the tracks and he's pushing the buttons as the songs go, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I read
And
about that. He does it live because he knows what
yes,
song is,
yes,
it's not
yes,
pre-programmed or anything like that.
yes.
That's
It's
amazing.
really amazing all that they do, and they record the I have the chance, I'm a freak of music production and mixing engineering, and there are people who share um, projects of bands, and you can have access to how they record the records. And Meshuggah do like some kind of 12 they 12 they have 12 tracks for the guitars, like six or seven pen on the left and six or seven pen on the right.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
insane.
sound, it has a reason why they sound so amazing.
Yeah, they do have this killer sound, and that band is now so special for me, especially because um music is my life. Everything about my life involves music, whether I'm cleaning my apartment, training in the gym, going for a walk. I have music on all the time, and the pandemic took away this part of my life. I love going to concerts. I'm from Ireland, so I don't actually like there wasn't a lot of bands used to come to Ireland. Like some of the big bands would come to Dublin, but being in Switzerland, you've got bands touring Europe that hit France, Germany, Austria, Italy, and then the center of Switzerland, of course, is center of Europe. Excuse me, is Switzerland.
Yes,
All these bands are coming to
yes,
Switzerland, and I
yes,
moved here in 2012, and like I've just been going to concerts like relentlessly for 8 years. The pandemic hits, and I can't go to a concert, and then the first one back, I meet someone like you, and we just start talking, and we're drinking, and
yes,
like music brings people like you and me together, whether we're from different countries, different
yes.
beliefs, religion, whatever. It's just so special for me, man. I'm so happy to know you and have you in my life.
Yes, thank you very much. I can just relate the same. It's funny because 1 week or 2 weeks after Meshuggah, I um I had a road trip to Amsterdam for Corn, and I
Yeah.
attended Corn live in Amsterdam. I have this hat from this concert.
Ah,
Like 2 weeks after, and I was in Amsterdam. And dude, that was also amazing.
crazy.
Corn live. That's something I had to do once in my life, and it was really really crazy. I have to say, Meshuggah will have a better sound in this Samsung hall in Zurich. This hall is amazing.
Yeah. It's so good for sound, right?
It's very very good. You have a very very good sound there, and not too loud that you go crazy there, because sometimes the sound is so loud that at the end you're not enjoying anymore. It's like
Yeah.
very very loud, and that was one of the things with Corn. They tended to be very very loud, and the bass guitar at some points of the concert was doing some string on the air, like boom, and
All
this
right.
heavy tune bass guitar from the basses from Corn, and it was like a bomb,
Really,
boom.
yeah.
In
Fizzing
few
over.
seconds, you couldn't hear anything at all. It was boom. I think um, they do it on purpose, but in my opinion, was not. Yes, it is like a heavy bomb pushing your chest, but it is not to enjoy music. It's like boom.
Yeah.
They were very very loud. So this was a very very big hall in Amsterdam, very very big, not as big as this Samsung hall, and not such a good sound, but
Okay.
still for Corn, still a small place, because bands like Corn or Slipknot. I tried to attend one Slipknot in Munich, but the concert was in this Olympia Stadium in München, and that's an open air, huge stadium where you cannot see a fuck, and you you're like, it's better if you stay at home and watch it on TV
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for 120 euro for ticket or something.
Yeah.
For for Corn, it was okay. It was still small place for such a big band, but the sound was not as good as Meshuggah.
And you being an engineer, are you critical? Like, do you go there and you pick out all the different tracks, all the different like guitars, bass, drums, vocals, or can you switch off and enjoy the show from like the beginning?
Uh,
It's a tough
yeah.
one, right?
I don't disconnect 100%. I don't
Yeah.
disconnect because I also take it like a lesson. It's like, how what is the front of house engineering doing, and I try to analyze what the guy is doing to learn,
Yeah.
because if you are front of house for Corn or for Meshuggah, you are a very very experienced sounding engineer. So I try to learn from those guys. It's like, so when I'm there, I analyze everything, of course. When they playing, then you switch off and you're enjoying too. But you connect and disconnect all the time. I think it's part of the learning process of an engineer. You know, it's like I try to analyze what is the guy doing now and why. And I looked everywhere where all the mics all are placed on the stage, and because there are no rules. Yes, there are. Um, there is like a pattern of working, but there are no rules. Every engineer works on its own and does the things itself. You know, it's like, okay, I like doing it like that. The band, every band has also his own. Um, you call it like, or what's the name? I forgot the name. You have a rider. Every band has a rider, and
Yeah.
that's like a document where they describe what they want to have, how many mics they need, and if they bring the mics or not, or you should have them. It depends on what kind of band you are. If you are like um, a band starting on music, you can have a rider, but you play everywhere no matter what. But if you are corn, you're not going to play like anywhere. You got to play to a place where you can guarantee your sound is going to be good. So with this rider, it's like a contract where you give to the venue, or your manager gives to the venue, and the engineer must have everything that the band is asking for. All the mics,
Yeah.
two mics for the kick drum, two mics for the snare drum, this mic and this mic with the brand and the model, and for the overheads and for the, I don't know, and for guitars and DIs and blah 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 blah, blah, everything
Yeah.
there. Also,
Yeah.
what kind of backstage they want, what kind of food they're gonna have, everything, everything.
Alcohol, snacks. Yeah.
And all stuff.
Exactly. No, I
Yes.
know exactly what you're saying because when I believe it or not, I used to play drums. I used to be a drummer in a heavy metal band. And whenever I was going to concerts, I used to, for some reason, never fixate on the drummer. I used to fixate on the bass player because I always used to look to the bass player. What's the bass player doing? And I remember the first concert I ever saw in Dublin. I'm from Cork, which is down south, and not many bands come to Cork. Went to Dublin to see Metallica in 2004, and Slipknot played before Metallica at that show. And I remember I stood left of stage and I was right in front of Paul Gray from Slipknot, who passed
Yes.
away.
Yes.
And I just remember studying everything Paul Gray was doing, everything with his pick in hand, everything with his stomping foot, the way he used to look at the fretboard. And I just was like fixated on Paul Gray. And when I saw Motorhead live, I was fixated on Lemmy. So the ability to switch off was just not there. I was studying everything, you know. So I understand how that must feel for you because, you know, studio engineers and people who deal with sound and stuff, they're always very intimidating for someone like me because you guys know how it all fucking works, you know?
But you answered now your question yourself. You were there and you were fixed on what the bass player was doing.
Yeah.
At the same time, of course, I'm sure you were enjoying,
Oh, yeah.
but you you keep your eyes fixed on one point, and okay, what's this guy doing? Because they are worldwide stars, and they are there because of a reason. There is a reason why they are worldwide stars. That's not like so easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't come like that. That comes with a lot of work. They are upsets people. All the guys. Well, perhaps nowadays it works a little bit different with marketing and stuff like that and music. That's why we don't have music anymore. We still
Yeah.
listen to music from the 80s, from the 90s, perhaps mid 2000, no, later than 2005.
Nothing. Right.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
I listen to music now. My daughter plays to anything, and they are like remixes or remakes or I don't know from old songs. I say, what? This song again?
Yeah.
But somebody else singing that song is like, what happened? Why there's no music anymore?
Yeah.
There's no music anymore. It's like people want a quick product, something fast to consume, and next.
Yeah. The
That's
next
why
buck.
music comes and dies at the same time.
Yeah. And what's music being what does it mean to you now? Like do you are you as obsessed with music outside of your studio, outside of your work? Like do you need music to go to the shops? Do you need it to go for a walk? Do you need it when you're training in the gym? Things like that. Are
Yes,
you
of course.
you do?
And I always sing it in my car.
I love it.
Always singing in my car, always
Yeah.
loud
Love
and
it.
rapping. And yes, and I'm obsessed with music, and I am obsessed um with old school music, and I produce old school music. I mean, um, I do, I produce beats, rap beats. This is what I do the most because I don't have the time and possibilities to play in a metal band. I used to play for metal bands like 20 years ago, and sing in rap metal bands like Rage Against the Machine. I can send you some concerts of 2008. We were
Yeah.
called from venues in. Do you know Eddie's Rocks in and is it that's in England? What's the name?
Eddie Rockets?
Eddie's Rocks. It's like a very well-known venue in United Kingdom.
Right.
In well, I don't know the name of the city right now,
Right.
but yes, 20 years ago, I used to be very active and with guitars and stuff like that. I don't have the time anymore. So easiest for me is producing beats for rapping because it's everything in the box.
Yeah.
I don't need to play guitar. I don't need to think about riffs and practice. I don't have time to practice and play guitar anymore. I don't play my guitars anymore. I have my guitar standing there. My I have an 8 strings guitar. I'm gonna show you right now.
Yeah, yeah, go for it, man. I got a 6 string, but it there's only 5 on it now because I broke it. Oh man, look at that.
This is an Ibanez M8, and that here.
Wow.
This pickup is a Langren pickup M8.
Two pickups or double pickup?
Das ist the humbucker. This is a humbucker pickup from Langren. Langren is a Swedish producer, and that's the pickup from Fredrik Tordendal.
Wow.
It's the same pickup that Fredrik Tordendal. Well, I don't know if his new guitars are wearing the same, but back in 10 years ago, 15 years ago, he used to have this pickup in his guitars, and that's the Ibanez A-strings model. That was a cheap model A-strings from Ibanez, but I changed it. That was an active pickup from the guitar, but I changed the circuit. So this guitar is not active anymore. So I installed this passive humbucker M8 on Langren, and it sounds, I swear by God, when I connect this to my Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, it sounds fucking hell the same tone as Meshuggah.
Wow.
Because this pickup is doing the work, the guitar.
Yeah. And the riffs that you put out on your YouTube channel, are those riffs from that guitar or from
Yes,
they are from? Wow.
but they are with they are done with emulations.
Uh-huh. It's a killer sound, man. I've seen a lot of your YouTube channel. I wish I learned Spanish when I was in school because I don't really understand a lot of what you're saying. But when I'm watching you mix the riffs, it's killer, man. I love the sound.
Thanks very much. I appreciate. I want to reamp all my sounds again,
Yeah.
because now I moved to my new studio, and upstairs I have like an attic empty. I want to prepare it for recording. So I want to make all recordings up there and use this room just for as a control room.
Mhm.
And I want to yeah, I have to put some wires and cables upstairs, and then I can put all the mics in a box upstairs. And I want to reamp my sounds because it's all in direct line recorded and with emulations. It sounds okay, but it is not the sound of an amplifier,
Yeah.
tubes amplifier. And I have my Mesa Boogie upstairs. On alone, this Mesa Boogie needs a little bit of help, but the best compromise is to mix like some emulations and a real amplifier
Yeah.
with mics. That's the best compromise.
It's killer. They say that we should get our kids more involved with music and things like this because if they do this early on, they won't be able to afford drugs when they're late teenagers.
Yes,
Yeah. It's
yes,
good. It's
indeed.
an expensive hobby, I would imagine.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what like what's the goal? Because I see your YouTube channel, I see a lot of what you're putting out there is tutorials on how to use programs and mix sound and edit and
Yes.
tweak and push out there. It's really cool. It's educational. It is in Spanish. I wish you'd make some videos in English because I really want to know what you're saying.
Yes, that's something that some people told me. I'm also a member from Sound Gym.
Mhm.
Sound Gym. I don't know if you ever heard about it.
Yeah.
I am. I was training there 2 years, very tough. Now last year nothing, but I'm a certified member from them. I was now Sound Gym Hero from March 2021, and they made an interview in that time, and I made everything in Sound Gym, so I have a good profile in Sound Gym, and I have access to many people in Sound Gym, and people taught me to do videos in English. But the thing is, let me put this. I wanted to show this is a Gibson SG,
Yeah.
American Gibson, and I also changed the hamburgers. That's bare knuckles pickups. They are English British pickups. They are also very heavy stuff.
Yeah,
So
man.
it does not sound like Gibson SG anymore.
Yeah. Angus Young meets Meshuggah.
Yes, it's no more no rock anymore. It's like pff, the hell.
Yeah.
So I got some suggestions to do videos in English, but the reason why I decided to do videos in Spanish is first of all, um, it's my mother language. So at first, when I started to make videos in YouTube, I felt a lot very nervous. It was I had no idea. Okay, I just want to do videos and show stuff that I know. And one thing is know, another thing is teach. And I'm sure I can teach because in my life I've done it before. But for me, YouTube and social media was like a new world. So I decided to start in my mother language
Yeah.
because of that. And secondly, because I found very good, all the best mixing engineers on the world, they are all of them English. They all have English as a mother language. They
Mhm.
are all Americans or they are English. All of them. You can talk about Chris Lord Alge. You can talk about Andrew Sheps. You can talk about Michael White. You can, I don't know, any of them. And you find material of them. And for my favorite is perhaps not so well known is Michael White. Andrew Sheps is the mixing engineer, the responsible for the loudness wars. Loudness wars is who's mastering louder
Yeah.
or and at loudest. It's like who's who is the loudest band in the world, and that's Andrew Sheps did that with Metallica.
Right.
Metallica, yeah, one I don't know which album exactly because I'm not very big fan from Metallica, but they have the loudest album ever, and that's because of Andrew Sheps. Because Andrew Sheps is well known because of that. He's a very nice guy, very good mixing engineer, very famous. It's not as fancy as others like Chris Lord Alge. etc., because it's Los Angeles style, you know, this American Los Angeles style. Everything is like
Yeah. They had
good
Rick
and
Rubin as well, right?
yeah. Andrew Sheps is a very, very nice guy, and you can learn a lot of him. But Michael White, for me, he has a YouTube channel where absolutely not sexy at all. It's not sexy at all. It's unbelievable. You can find many people like Chris Salim, like Dom Sigalas. They have very nice YouTube channels. They are very, very famous. They do a lot of business with it. And they are good mixing engineers. They teach a lot of stuff also. They are, for me, my favorite guys is Dom Sigalas. If Dom Sigalas, if you want to see that, greetings from Switzerland, and Chris, and also for you, Chris Salim. They have very good YouTube channels. They just, this everything is English. If you look at the Spanish market, you find people, most of them Spain or South America. Spain, there are also a couple of guys doing good stuff. Um, Mark Soma. Mark Soma is very well known for as a rap producer. He's got also a school and very good teacher. He's doing very good things in marketing. He's doing it very good, Mark Soma. And there is one other guy. I don't know the name. Mars Citizen is the name of the channel. It's also Spanish. But
Yeah.
beside of them, people do like music today. Is fast content and superficial. So I
Right.
wanted to do something completely different where my content should be deep and dense. My videos are very long. You cannot find any 5 or 10 minutes video.
Yeah, that was my question. Are you looking to put out tutorials, or are you looking to get work for like engineering work, and to show people what to do, or to actually produce? Like, what's your goal?
My goal is to, whatever I show, to do it very, very deep.
Okay.
It's like, if I'm going to show a plugin, I want to do it differently as the other guys do. The other guys, they take a plugin, they have no fucking idea how this plugin is working, and they make like a 5 minutes video. Hi guys, this very fancy plugin that's on, that's off, that's plus, that's minus. Choose. Bye bye. Finish. And they
Yeah.
all watch this video. Oh, very nice video. No, this bullshit. Because you learn nothing at all from this plugin. You have no fucking idea how this plugin is working and what this plugin is doing in your mix. That's the
Yeah.
main problem when you start to mixing. People learn mixing chains. They learn it by heart. And they don't know why should they use that. And that's the main problem. So my goal is learn what is this thing really doing. Learn to use it. Do you need it or not? You don't need automatically take a voice track and put automatically one preset and channel strip and do the same as any other guy in a video showed.
Yeah.
That's most common you find. Best channel strip, best chain for your voice, best chain for your guitars. Forget about it. And that's exactly the opposite to my goal. My goal is learn what the tools you have in your hands.
Yeah.
Learn why do you have to do this in a track. And I also have some videos where I show some techniques in mixing. Most of them are plugins. The reason is they work better than other videos because people want to see how a plugin work.
Right. Because when
That's
when I started and I wanted to do a podcast, I wanted to find out what program worked best for me to record, upload, edit, alter, tweak, and things like that. So when people are going to look for your stuff, are they going to be able to do it specifically in a program that you use, or is it general advice only? Are you looking to be like a teacher?
Yes, it's the second, because
Yeah.
the plugins you use, you can use them in any DAW, any digital workstation, any.
Okay.
No matter if you use Cubase, as I do, no matter if you use in Pro Tools, no matter if you use in I don't know, whatever. Um, I also use I also show some plugins that belong Cubase. Any digital workstation has its own plugins to work with,
Right.
and you find them only with this digital workstation. These are like stock plugins. They need not as much resources from your computer, but they are not as fancy as third-party plugins. And then you have these third-party plugins that you can use in any digital workstation, in any program, no matter what you use. So what I teach is how to use that, or I explain every little detail of every plugin. That's why the videos are so long, because most of the people, what I said, they show, okay, on, off, plus, minus, finished, five
Yeah.
minutes. But there is a lot of more stuff involved that perhaps you should know about this plugin. People don't want to read manuals.
Yeah.
People go
Exactly.
to YouTube, they put the name of the plugin, and they just wait that somebody in 10 minutes explains how to use this plugin.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you why I asked the question. It's because I find myself, let's say, for example, I don't want to read a book or I don't want to start watching a new series because I don't watch TV much. But I'll sit and listen or I'll watch a master at his craft. Something I've been doing recently a lot before I go to bed is I've been watching a watchmaker or watch cleaner dismantle and clean a watch and put it back together again, like a Rolex with a cracked screen or something, you know. And when I watched your videos on YouTube, I put on the subtitles so you can click subtitles so I kind of see what's happening in English a little bit. But when I'm watching your stuff, I'm watching a master at his craft, watching and tweaking an edit or a plug-in or a sound, putting a drum track together with like a guitar or bass track. And like if you were to do that in English, you would get not only people who are looking at this for help, but someone like me who just wants to sit and watch. You know, I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I will try doing some videos in English,
And
but
dedicate me a video.
yes, definitely. And yes, I think my next video is gonna be in English. I'm not sure if it's gonna be related to how to. It's a very interesting matter, because low end is one of the most critical sound parts in a mix.
Yeah.
How the
Foundation, right?
bass how the bass is going to sound, because of two reasons. It's very critical to work. It's like, or the most complicated to work. Not the most complicated, but let's say um yeah, the most complicated to work is the low end, or the bass area in a mix. And secondly, because it's the most difficult to get a critic listen to, because that area, these low frequencies, they need space.
Mhm.
Most of the people who's mixing at home, like I started, they have a small room. If you have a small room, these big waves for the low frequencies, they have no place to develop. So you get cancellations, you get modes, and you cannot hear properly these low frequencies. So you have no idea what's going on because you cannot hear it. So that's
Right. So they're not recording directly onto like a program. They're actually doing it live in the room.
no. I mean, when you reproduce, you're mixing, you're listening with your monitors, and whether you listen with your monitors or you have headphones.
Mhm.
Because if you have headphones, your room doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But the headphones, they have other inconvenience. So that's why people, it depends. There are people who's mixing on headphones, there are people mixing on monitors. If you mix on monitors, your room is very important. Very, very important. The acoustic in your room. But the size of the room. But because the acoustics, you can work on them. You can work on the critical stages of your room. But if the size is very small, these low frequencies, you're not going to hear with monitors. So when you're mixing, if you cannot hear something, you cannot say if it's right or wrong. And
Okay.
that's the problem with the low frequency. So my next video is related to low frequencies. And I think that's what I'm going to do with in two aspects, like layering kicks, because that's a very common practice. You're producing like some rap beats or some electronic music, some EDM or some, I don't know, or even with some organic drums. And you want to layer one kick over another kick drum or
Yeah.
snare drum. And that's very important because phase relationship between those kick drums, those different samples, is very important. People go directly to I want more low end. I take a plugin and I add some lows. But before you do that, if you work properly on the phase relationship between those samples, you get much deeper sound and lower sound. Because if the phase relationship is not very good, you're going to get some cancellations of some frequencies and you're going to hear less bass frequency, low frequencies, because they will be canceled.
Yeah.
So before you go into any plugin to add more stuff to the mix and more process, you should take care of the phase relationship between two samples when you're layering quicks, or when you have some drum kit recorded with 8 tracks or 10 tracks. You're a drummer, you get some mics for your kick drum, for your snares, and then you have a room mic, and then you have some overheads. They all play together. There is always a delay when you have a close mic in your kick drum. This signal is gonna be very, very quick in the mic. But if you have this mic in a room mic 2 meters or 1.5 meters away, it's going to be delayed.
Yeah.
Or in your overheads, it's going to be delayed because you are 1 meter away and you have a closed mic here or in your snare drum. But even in your
Yeah.
snare drum, you get some bleeding from your kick drum.
And you're going to show people how to get rid of that delay or overlap it with like another track or condense it so you don't hear the difference, things
I
like
gonna
that.
I gonna teach how to have a look at it and how to correct and align all the waves of the same start point. And I promise you will hear a massive difference in your kick drum or in your snare drum, because you will hear a completely different tone from your snare drum and from your kick drum when you have all these mics at the same start point.
Yeah,
In the
it is.
moment where you have a little bit of delay, you will lose low frequency from your kick drum. When
Yeah.
you that takes time, you have to check all the tracks and how many milliseconds or how many frames are separated, corrected, align them, and then you are good to go.
Yeah.
And then you can add more loud frequencies if you want. But first of all, you have to take back these low frequencies that you lost by having the phase relationship correctly.
Yeah,
That's
I don't do any of this anymore. I'm not involved in the music industry anymore, but hearing you talk about it brings back memories of when I used to do it and be involved in it and make decisions. And hearing a master at his craft, it's fascinating. Like I told you, I've been watching a lot of videos of watches being taken apart, cleaned, and put back together. I don't know anything about watches, but I remember the music industry. I remember making an album. I remember being in a studio. I remember it all. And I just remember listening to the sound engineer talk about all of these frequency things, just looking at him in complete awe. I just remember being so intimidated, and this is bringing it all back. But how are you finding the social media aspect of your game? Because not only do you do the content, you got to upload it to YouTube and then push it out. Are you enjoying the social media part of this as well?
um well, I don't think I'm very good at it. I think I still have to learn, but um I didn't finish with the school right now, so I have a lot of things going on, and I don't have much time now for being more dedicated to social media. So I'm still in the learning process. I i try not to leave it. I mean, I try. Last year was impossible. Personally, I have many things to solve, so I have very little time for YouTube, and I my YouTube channel suffered a lot because of that, because 2022 was a very difficult year.
Right.
This year, I want to go back to shooting videos, and I don't really um, get really worried about how to handle with social media. I'm still learning because I'm not very good at it, to be honest. But it's not the part of my job that's worrying me the most. It's like, for me, it's something I want to do, but I don't want to be these YouTubers, fancy YouTubers with empty content
Yeah.
and fancy channel. It's like, my subscribers are not fast subscribers, because these channels, they have fast subscribers. They're increasing their subscriber very quickly, but this kind of subscriber go away so
Yeah.
quickly, and that's not my goal. My goal is people who are really interested on learning things from scratch and really deep. They are people who will be interested. And I can tell you, you watch of these YouTube channels from, for example, Michael White. He is, like I said, he is responsible for the song, um, "I Will Always Love You" from
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. So you can imagine what kind of mixing engineer he is.
He's pretty good.
But his channel is has it has like something like four how do you call it in
For
English?
subscribers?
No, for figures like 3,000. I don't know,
Oh wow, 3,000 subscribers or something like that.
3,000, 5,000. I don't know, something under 10,000.
Wow.
And you go to oh, I don't know exactly, but very little for such a big person, big master. And you go to other people and they have 100,000, 300,000, 1 million,
Yeah.
and their content quality of the content you cannot compare it. That's what I mean. It's like that's what's happening now. You
Yeah.
got the master like Michael White, and he's not a fancy guy. I gotta say, you cannot see him in the videos. You don't see him. You
Yeah.
just see it on a screenshot or the screen of his computer running, and he is on the mic speaking and
Wow.
explaining all the time. And he explains. When he has so much knowledge, you have no idea. It's amazing, this guy.
Yeah.
But his channel is so poor with in figures. You know what I
But
mean?
with the technology that's available nowadays, you look at someone like the old school rockers back in the day when they put out a video, it gets their fan base. But then there's these YouTubers in their bedroom playing to a backing track, and they're getting like these guitar solos are getting 500,000 views. And do you ever hear the guy Jared Dines? He's this famous YouTuber.
Oh,
He's got
what's
like
doing?
a million subscribers. He literally just comes up with these riffs in his bedroom, and he's got this YouTube channel with millions of subscribers and these videos with millions of views. He got so big that Matt Heafy from Trivium, his wife was having a baby, and they asked this guy in his bedroom to come and play for Trivium while he was off tour taking care of his newborn baby. So these, with the technology that's available, with people that have their plugins with their guitars and their laptops and social media, if you're good at it, you can push it, and you don't need a middleman label to get anything out there anymore. It's just all available for you to do if you're good enough at it. But yeah, I'm watching your stuff, man. I'm a fan of what you're putting out there, and I hope to see more videos in the future,
Thank you very much.
especially in English.
I swear I will in English. I will give it a try. I will give it a try. And but I don't know. It's like I'm not sure what to do because there are so many people there doing good material in English. It's like in the Spanish language is a very important language, and I have South America there. They watch my material too, and they are people very interested on producing. The people who like producing themselves, everything in the bedroom. So I think they need also some guidance,
Yeah, yeah.
and I will try to do more material so I can um, do both English, Spanish, or I can. You always have the possibility to put some subtitles and translate it.
Yeah,
But
that's what I did with your stuff last week.
how does it work? Because I guess if I want to add some subtitles in English, I have to write it and
No,
edit.
no, it does it for you. You just click CC at the end of your YouTube video, and you click subtitles, and you choose. I think it gives you English, German, French, Spanish, Italian, and Arabic.
And you can see my content with subtitles in English.
Yes, sir.
Really? I'm
Magic.
sorry. I told you I'm not good at all with this
Yeah,
stuff.
it gives
I'm
you
so
transcript
sorry.
options, and it's really good. But I prefer to hear it from you. Like I love to see what you're talking about, what you're doing, even though I don't know anything about what you're doing. I just love watching someone at their craft, which is great. But I'll put a link in the description for anyone who wants to check out what you're about and what you do. But yeah, tell people where they can find you and what you have. What's your YouTube, your Instagram,
That's
Facebook?
YouTube channel is you can find it very easy. two R Studios, and that's the name of the channel and the name. Yeah, you can find it like that. 2R Studios, and the same is with Instagram. 2R Studios. I'm not very active in Instagram, and like I said, this year I will come back to YouTube again with a lot of material. I have some more ideas, and I will go back to my own music projects and some other projects. I will start to produce some new rap thing. I have a couple of people here in Switzerland, couple of rappers. It's very difficult to work with rappers, I gotta say. But yes, I have a couple of people here. They want to start doing some rap. I think they are talented, and I will try to produce some stuff for them. And I look at this. I got some this here.
Is that lyrics?
Yes.
Wow. You're going to be
Yeah,
a rapper.
I have stuff from 10 years. I think it's 10 years old,
Wow.
all this stuff. And I have many things there that I never ever recorded. It's like I wrote the lyrics and I found them now. It's like, wow.
There you go, man.
Because I'm doing a lot of music now, but I'm feeling like I'm overwhelmed. I don't have time for writing lyrics again. I don't have the
Yeah.
time. I don't find the inspiration. In that time, I was working in a small town in Germany, and I was living in a different small town, and I had to cross a lake with the boat every day. And I had like one or 1.5 hour from
Wow.
home to work, and I had I had no car to drive, so I had to walk and then take the boat and then take the bus and then go to work and then back. So I had a lot of time in this 1 hour way to be with my headphones and
And
sitting on
right.
the bus or and writing lyrics.
Amazing.
But I don't have the time now. I have time for doing music and stuff, but I don't have the lyrics. So I found that and I said, wow, I
Yeah.
have now the lyrics. So I can hopefully do some small EP this year with some. I have some good beats there. I
Killer,
think
man.
they are interested because I produce different as this trap stuff that's going on now, because that's everything fast and quickly. And the rappers, most of them, they buy some beats from. I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna sell my beats nowhere. I will produce people, and I will produce beats for these people, like a street with the measures. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like I'm
It
not
makes
going to
sense.
produce and I'm going to produce beats and sell them in internet because that's not my business. The same way I'm not doing fast videos for YouTube, I'm not producing massive beats. I'm producing beats individually for one track. You give me your text, you give me your worries, what it's talking about, how you feeling, how long is the text, and let's work together and let's do something according to your text. And i
Makes sense.
i
Yeah.
use a lot of lo-fi pianos because what I do now is just keyboards no. And for my music I use also my 8 strings guitars, and I put some guitars there, like, but not like a main thing. It's like in the background some guitars there. So it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like lo-fi pianos and everything very melodic. I produce with pianos, with violins, guitars. I don't know, everything very complicated. That's the way I produce, and always looking at Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
Dr. Dre
he's the man.
is Dr. Dre.
Chronicles. Awesome, man. Well, listen, whatever you're doing, dude, I'll be your fan. I will follow everything that you put out there. I will watch all of your videos. I'll share all of your videos, and I encourage everybody to check out the links in the description for Ruud.
Thank you very much.
Dude, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on here, man. I'm fascinated, as I said before, to listen to a master at his craft. And I hope to see you at a concert again very soon, brother.
Yes, the same. Thank you very much. I appreciate very much. I was here with you.
Awesome, man. Thank you again so much for
Thank
coming
you very
on.
much.
We will talk again.
appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing you at another concert. Muchas gracias y buenas noches.
Thank you very much. Good night. Bye bye.
Rock it, brother.